I played on several sports teams during high school, college, and adulthood. I played football, basketball, baseball, and volleyball, among other sports. On almost every team, we stretched before we played. This is also what many, if not most, people do before they work out. However, the pre-stretch workout is not the wise choice that you think it is. That is what we're talking about in this video. The standard stretching method is known as static stretching. That is when you hold a position without movement for about 20 to 60 seconds. Some of the most common reasons why people stretch before workout are to reduce soreness, reduce the risk of injury during the workout, and to warm up. Stretching accomplishes none of these goals. Stretching does not reduce your post-workout soreness. It does not reduce your injury risk, and stretching does not help you warm up before workout. Are you surprised? Let's dive into the soreness first. The soreness that you feel in the days after a workout or competition is known as DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. I find that it starts around 30 hours after the activity and lasts to about 72 hours or 3 days afterwards. This typically happens when we do something new. Either we do something for the first time or for the first time in a while. Or we do a lot more of something that we normally do. For example, if you typically don't run and then you went out and ran 5 miles today, that would probably make you sore. Another example could be a big jump in the amount of sets that you perform per workout. If you usually perform 2 sets of squats and then you decided today, for whatever reason, that you want to do 5 sets of squats, you'll probably have some soreness in your quads and glutes. 5 studies tested the use of stretching before or after workouts. The stretching period lasted 5 to 10 minutes. Researchers then measured the amount of soreness daily for 3 days after the workout. What they found is that there was no difference in the amount of soreness between the people who stretched before and after the workout and the people who did no stretching. Stretching does not reduce soreness. Let's talk about injury risk. In my opinion, this is the biggest reason why people stretch at the start of a workout or a sport. People want to avoid injury and they feel that stretching is going to help them achieve this. I personally believe this for a long time. I was one of those people who was stretching at the gym before my workout and prior to the sports that I played. After looking at many studies on this topic, it's clear that this was dogma that lacked solid evidence. Static stretching, as you would probably expect, does not reduce the risk of overuse injuries. Examples of overuse injuries are shin splints, tennis and golf elbow, tendonitis, stress fractures, plantar fasciitis, bursitis, and IT band issues, which is usually an injury suffered by runners. This makes sense. Stretching a muscle or a tendon is not going to change the fact that those muscles and tendons are being strained by an excess of performing certain movements. Let's talk about another type of injury, muscle strains. The research is, at best, mixed. Most research shows that stretching before various activities, including running, boot camp style training, and sports, does not reduce the frequency of muscle strains. There are some studies showing a benefit, but many of those studies features stretching plus a warm-up where people are moving around and contracting their muscles, performing some light activity, and that warm-up with the movement could be responsible for the added safety, the added benefit that is seen with static stretching. You might think, oh, the research is mixed, so maybe I should just play it safe and do some static stretching before I work out. There is something else to consider, but I'll come back to that soon. Before exercise, we aim to warm up. Warming up exists for a few reasons. Gradually increasing our heart rate before the main part of the workout when our heart rate jumps up. Increasing blood flow to all the different parts of our body, mainly to make sure that our muscles are getting enough oxygen. Raising our muscle temperature, which could help with reducing the risk of injury. And to improve joint mobility. Stretching achieves only one of those goals. Stretching does not increase your heart rate, blood flow, or muscle tissue temperature. Those are all achieved by actually contracting your muscles. An effective warm-up is movement. Examples of movement for warming up are to perform a set of an exercise with light weights, to walk, perform body weight squats, jumping jacks, or other activities where your muscles are contracting and working. The main point is this: stretching is ineffective for achieving what we think it does. If it's harmless and maybe beneficial for muscle strains, then why not perform some static stretching before a workout? Static stretching before a workout can actually hurt your workout performance. Studies have shown the following: a 15% reduction in peak strength during an exercise, performing fewer repetitions when lifting heavier weights, a 3 to 4% decrease in your vertical jump height, and a slight decrease in your sprinting speed. How is this possible? Let's dive into the weeds a little bit on how muscle contraction works. Inside of your muscles are individual muscle fibers, and within those fibers are two strands of protein, actin and myosin. Myosin reaches out to grab the actin and moves the actin, causing the entire muscle fiber to shorten. However, there's something called a length-tension relationship. Muscle fibers can contract and produce the most force possible when at a specific position. Static stretching impacts the length-tension relationship by pulling the fiber strands apart from each other. As a result, many protein strands either produce less force when they connect, or they can't even connect at all. Static stretching before a workout does not reduce soreness, it does not achieve the goals of warming up muscles, and it has little to no benefit on the risk of potentially getting injured. It also weakens your muscles, leading to reductions in lifting and sports performance. If you are looking to reduce the soreness that you might suffer, reduce your injury risk, and have an effective warm-up, here's what I recommend. First, for soreness, I recommend that you gradually increase the amount of work that you do in your workouts. For example, if you are starting to lift weights, perform 1 or 2 sets per exercise. Wait a few weeks and then add a third set. If you are starting to run, start with just running 1 or 2 miles per day. Second, for injury risk and warming up, perform low intensity activities that relate to what you'll actually do. If you are lifting weights, perform 1 or 2 sets with light to moderate weight loads, and then gradually up the weight into your working sets. If you're playing a sport, start with light movements that relate to the sport. For example, if you're gonna go hiking, start by walking and then get into hiking at a steep vertical. Another option is dynamic stretching. Dynamic, meaning that you are performing activities that require you to actually contract your muscles, and that's a great option for warm-ups and injury reduction. A warm-up focused on movement should last about 5 to 10 minutes. To learn more about proven methods for becoming the healthiest and fittest version of yourself, please subscribe to my channel. I'm Dr. Preuss. Thanks for watching this video.